What is up guys, my name is Ignas, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but we are back with another dividend comparison. We are still going through the consumer defensive names, and today I've picked 3 from the farm products industry. So the first stock for today's comparison is Daniels Midland Company, ticker symbol ADM. In 1 year the price has been moving up plus 7.15%. Though zooming out to 5 years, the growth was huge, plus 88.89%. This here is the largest company in the industry, market cap of $44.86 billion US, and we now have it trading at a dividend yield of 2.2%. So this is the first name for today's comparison, and now let's check the other 2. For the second I have Tyson Foods, ticker symbol TSN. In 1 year the stock lost quite a bit, minus 36.23%. And zooming out to 5 years, it is also still down, minus 20.38%. Company's market cap is at $21.65 billion, and at least the dividend yield here is higher, now at 3.15%. And lastly, for the third one, we have Bunge Limited, ticker symbol BG. In 1 year, the stock is down for 2.87%. Still zooming out to 5 years, it has been going up, plus 23.82%. Market cap for it is $14.7 billion, and the stock is trading at a dividend yield of 2.55%. So these 3 will be the names for today's dividend comparison, and to put everything together, let's use Google Sheets. So I have prepared this table with the ticker symbols already in, and for the dividend comparison we'll use 5 different metrics. Dividend yield, dividend payout ratio, years of consecutive dividend increases, 5-year compound annual dividend growth rate, and the current dividend yield compared to its 5-year average. We'll check the numbers under every metric for each stock, add them into this table, and compare them in between. Then the stock with the best metric gets a point for it, we'll sum up these points, and in the end the company with the best result will be considered the winner of this dividend comparison. I hope that the rules are clear, and early thumbs up would be very much appreciated, and with that out of the way, let's start. So the first metric will be the dividend yield. It is calculated by taking the annual dividend per share and dividing it by the share price. Daniels Midland is currently paying an annual dividend of $1.80, so at a share price of $81.99, we here have a dividend yield of 2.19%. Now Tyson Foods, they are paying a dividend of $1.92, so at a price of $6.68 per share, we have a dividend yield of 3.15%. And lastly, Bunge Limited, their dividend is at $2.50, so at a share price of $98.14, we have a dividend yield of 2.54%. Now the second metric for the comparison is the dividend payout ratio. Percentage here shows what part of company's earnings are being used to pay dividends. So for ADM, the dividend payout ratio is 26.74%. Meaning that just over 1/4 of company's earnings are being used to pay dividends. Now Tyson Foods and their payout ratio is 35.03%, so a bit more, 1/3 of earnings used for dividends. And lastly Bunge with 22.10%, less than 1/4 of earnings assigned for dividends. The third metric is the number of years with consecutive dividend increases. So for how many years the company has been increasing dividends for at least 1 quarter every year. With Daniels, they have been increasing dividends consistently for the last 51 years. Now Tyson Foods, with 11 years of consecutive dividend increases. And lastly BG, with just 2 years of consecutively higher dividends. Now let us take another metric, compound annual dividend growth rate. For the comparison we'll take the 5-year average, including the next year's estimate. So with Daniels Midland, we have a 5-year dividend growth rate of 5.15%. Now Tyson Foods, and their dividend growth rate is at 3.84%. And lastly Bunge, with a growth rate of 4.56%. Metric number 5 is the dividend yield compared to its 5-year average. And for that we'll use my dividend investing watchlist on Google Sheets. So we are in the tab for Daniels. Here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and we calculate that on average in 5 years the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 2.71%. So the best time to get into the stock was in the beginning of 2020, where we saw the dividend yield at 4.02%, higher than the 5-year average for 48.29%, and the worst time to get in was by the end of 2022, with a yield of 1.68%, below average for 38.03%. Though getting into the stock right now at a dividend yield of 2.19%, it's not that much better, still under average for 19.22%. So this is here the number that we are taking for our comparison. Now let's check Tyson Foods. Here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average this stock was trading at a dividend yield of 2.1%. So the worst time to get into the stock was back in 2019, where the dividend yield was 1.24%, lower than average for 40.95%, though taking the stock right now at a yield of 3.15%, that is the highest it has been in the last 5 years, over the 5-year average for exactly 50%. And now Bunge, we have its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average the yield was at exactly 3%. So the best time to get in was in the beginning of 2020, with a dividend yield of 5.73%, almost double than average plus 90.88%, though the worst part was in the first half of 2022, with 1.89%, below average for 37.04%. Still getting into the stock right now at a dividend yield of 2.55%, we have it a bit under the average, minus 15.05%. So now we have the numbers that we needed. If you would be interested in doing a similar analysis for another dividend paying name yourself, you are able to access this watchlist by following the first link at the top of the description. Otherwise, feel free to add a ticker symbol in a comment below, and I'll consider adding that into the watchlist myself. Maybe you could share some interesting opportunity that is available in the market, which I'm still missing. So we are back to our comparison table. The numbers have been filled in, and now we can start assigning points. First one goes to Tyson Foods for the highest dividend yield at 3.15%, then Bunge Limited for the lowest payout ratio at 22.1%, a point to Archer Daniels for 51 years of consecutive dividend increases, another point to ADM for a compound annual dividend growth rate of 5.15%, and the last one goes to Tyson Foods, where its dividend yield is currently 50% higher than its 5-year average. So the points have been assigned and we can calculate results. Archer Daniels Midland got 2 points, Tyson Foods 2, and Bunge Limited 1. This means that we currently have a tie between ADM and TSN. So let us hide BG for the moment and reassign that point elsewhere. So Archer Daniels gets it with a lower payout of 26.74%. Now ADM has 3 points, TSN 2, and BG 1. This means that with 3 best metrics, Archer Daniels Midland is considered the winner of this dividend comparison. So we are done. That was what I wanted to take a look into today. Out of those 3, I'm currently holding Tyson Foods. We already saw that it haven't been performing well this year. I'm now down 20% on it. So currently not planning to add into this anymore, as we found out that there could be a more interesting opportunity from the same industry. Are you holding any names from the farm products industry in your portfolio? Share your best pick in a comment below. Also, don't forget to support the channel and leave a thumbs up under the video. Last time I've compared several other dividend paying companies, so if you are interested in any of these, then click on a video that is currently on the screen. And that was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing y'all in the next one.